Recently, I was on the campus of my alma mater, catching up with some of the fine young men from southwest Kansas. As I was in between visits, I found myself walking past the mathematics building. So on a whim, I decided to pop in and see if a couple of my professors happened to be there. As I started walking toward the faculty offices, my first reaction was, wait a minute, my hair's combed way too nicely to be going down this hallway. Then I realized that if looking like I belonged there was my goal, then walking in with a black shirt and a white collar was an even more obvious giveaway. It had been a long time since the day that I walked out of that building, thinking that I had closed the door on math when I opened the door to the seminary. And in a sense, that's what I did. Mathematics is a whole lot less a part of my day now than it was then. And theology, a whole lot more. But I realize now that it was not so much that I was closing a door forever or opening another door for the first time. Transitioning from my life as a math major to my life as a seminarian was more about opening a door wider in order to better know the God who made me and be the person he made me to be. When Pope Benedict XVI declared the Year of Faith, he used the image of a door from Acts 14:27 as the springboard for both the celebration and the letter in which he announced it. Acts chapter 14, verse 27 says, "And when they, Paul and Barnabas, arrived, they called the church together and reported what God had done with them and how he had opened the door of faith to the Gentiles." The door of faith, the porta fidei, is what God wants to open to each of us during this special year. For a few, it may be open for the first time. For a few more, I presume, it will be reopened. But I think for many of us, the door of faith will simply, but not insignificantly, be opened just a little bit wider. You know, the variety of backgrounds, interests, and experiences men bring to the priesthood are just extraordinary. Family, schooling, hobbies, relationships. Now, while it's true that those things may or may not still be a part of a priest's life today, they all combine to make him the priest that he is now. They are not necessarily doors closed, as if his time before the seminary was time lost or time wasted. Rather, the moments that lead a man to the priesthood are more like a doorway passed through, in which he learned, grew, and was formed. Similarly, for most men who discover a call to the priesthood, the door of faith may not be opening for the first time, as it did for the Gentiles, but rather opening wider, as he discovers the priesthood as his natural participation in the plan of God for his salvation and the salvation of others. Well, as I walked through the door of my undergraduate counselor's office, and then later my research advisor's office, I wondered what they would think. Boy, this guy's definitely not going to be one of our big donors. But apart from a scary 5 minutes, when my advisor started to jump into some mathematical equations that I knew would quickly reveal my rusty skills, apart from that, they were two awesome and heartwarming encounters. My excitement at the chance to thank them was only matched by their excitement about my priesthood. It was as if we all realized that the door of mathematics, however important it may have been, became secondary when the door of faith opened wider.